You're listening to the Sports Desk on Sin 90.7 with Liam and Alex. And we're going to jump right in and we're going to go to the ALeague.
Yes, we are.
So it's been round 2, was it?
Yeah, it was round 2 of the ALeague this year. What I said, it looked like it was like a sim round, like you're simming on a PlayStation game or something. It was very, apart from the Western Sydney Wanderers Adelaide game, every other game was a flogging. Let's start off with the biggest game of the round, the Melbourne Derby.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Between the City and Victory. And let's just talk off. Let's just get straight to it. Tim Cahill's goal.
Yeah, what even? He has not gotten worse with age.
Oh, no, he hasn't. He's like a fine wine. But that is goal of the year.
Oh, it's still too early to tell, but it's definitely a contender.
It was just outside the centre square. Well, not centre square, sorry, the circle. Not even the touch, just kicked it. Beautiful, beautiful goal.
Yeah, it's an amazing goal, and it was only 27 minutes in.
Yeah, well, and it kind of looked like it was City from the start, anyways.
Yeah.
I know it's only 2 rounds in, but at the moment it looks very much a Melbourne City, Sydney FC season.
Oh, really? You reckon you're going to go there that far?
Oh, at the present time, well, Sydney FC won both games so far this year, 4-0.
Oh, yeah, okay, I suppose that.
Melbourne City at the moment are also 2-0, and then you got another team that you say could come close. I'll say Perth Glory. They were lucky to only score a draw last week against the Mariners after being up 3-0. And they got over the Phoenix 2-0 this week.
Okay.
But honestly, that's just looking at it now, face on. But Melbourne Victory actually has a 10-day turnaround, and they'll play the City again in the FA Cup semi-final.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I forgot that's still going on at the same time. Who's still in the FA Cup?
You got Canberra Olympic and Sydney FC. They play on the 19th of October. And on the 25th of October, Victory play City.
Oh.
So they play 4 times this year, the two Melbourne clubs.
Jeez, that's crazy.
And it's another home game for Victory. It's a growing rivalry, I think, the Victory City one.
I mean, for a while it was only like, it wasn't really a competitive thing, seeing as City was like the only one in it. Sorry, Victory was the only one in it. But over time, Victory, City, Heart, and then City have shown that they're still in it.
Yeah.
Especially City, I reckon, more so than Heart. I think the extra support and whatnot has really boosted them a little.
And I think the fact that City has made the last 2 prelim finals.
Yeah.
I know they lost to Melbourne Victory, which they were lucky to make. I know they went up in that year. They went up against Wellington, and they were lucky to. Well, they weren't lucky, but they got over them 2-0. So they're the underdogs coming in, and then this year when they played Adelaide, they played the top team in this prelim final, which is always the hardest team to play.
Yeah.
And I think them and Sydney will be the premiership favourites. I know I was already hearing pre-season that Melbourne City were one of the favourites to win this year. So hopefully for them and hopefully for their supporters, because for ages it's like if they make another NRL team, Melbourne, it'll take a while to grow because there's one team that everyone's focused on.
Yeah, it's like, you're right. I think it's also part of the reason why, like, you also see it in teams like in Sydney with GWS. They're growing a little, but like Sydney's been there for a while. But Sydney's not as rooted into the city, considering that New South Wales isn't really an AFL state.
Well, I've been saying this on my other show with Jeff, that GWS has grown faster. I think 2 things. I think they've grown faster than the AFL thought they would. Yeah. And I think at the moment they're being more successful. Their success has gone faster than the supporter base, which is bad. Because imagine if Sydney played GWS in the grand final. Yeah. And, well, don't get me wrong, there'll be a handful of GWS supporters there, but it wouldn't be the same.
But the other thing is, though, you got to realise is that when it comes to the GWS sort of stuff, is that their success will get them supporters.
Oh, definitely.
Like in terms of the fact that, like with Melbourne City, probably because they're being more successful, they're not like, oh, that team's, rubbish. Why would anyone support them? Because they have no connection to them. But, like, people were like, people who follow Tim Cahill now will be like, oh, he plays for Melbourne City. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I've said that ever since he joined. I'm like, it was so much better as a financial and as a league-wise that Tim Cahill joined City instead of Melbourne Victory. Just
Yeah.
that public exposure that you have probably the greatest ever Australian player
Yeah,
play for your club.
greatest ever, you reckon?
Oh, he would
yeah.
be up there. He
Would actually. No, now thinking about it, it's one of those ones where the soccer in Australia is starting to get better.
I think if we didn't make the 2006 World Cup,
It would have
yeah.
stagnated.
Oh, I don't think A-League would have grown as fast as it did because we made the World Cup and then we defeated Japan, and that's when everyone knew who Tim Cahill was.
Yeah.
We lost to Brazil, we drew with Croatia, and then we're unlucky to lose to Italy with that penalty.
Yeah.
And that just grew, and
Which is still kind of a sore point about whether or not he was diving and.
And then after that, what was it? And now with Australia, especially Australia, making a World Cup's a must, not a.
Yeah.
They should. Now Australia's expected to make the World Cup.
Yeah. I don't think we're expected. We're more likely to because we got out of the Oceania region and into the Asia region, mainly because, well, otherwise Australia would have made the World Cup.
Yeah, there's always Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, it's like the Fiber Cup, like the world basketball thing. In order to qualify for the Olympics, Australia's never missed a qualification because there's only 2 countries that compete.
Yeah.
But still.
Actually, at the moment, in the World Cup qualifier for the Oceania region, Papua New Guinea, the last time I checked, are currently first in their
Oh, really?
league. Give me just 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure. Last time I checked, though. But then they have to play.
They have to because they only get a half spot, don't they?
Yeah. Then they have to play whoever finishes 5th in the South American Conference.
Well, it doesn't look like any of them. There's no real groupings. Okay, so round 2, Papua New Guinea, New Caledonia, and Tahiti all got about the same. New Zealand, I think, would be the top of their group.
Yeah, you're looking at Group A and Group B.
Yeah, because the round 2, Papua New Guinea was the head of Group A, which involved Tahiti and Samoa.
And then you got the knockout stages, where New Zealand won 4-2 off penalty shootouts, and then they do a complete other. Oh no, there you go. They don't do a complete other actually. So it'll be New Zealand who did qualify.
Yeah.
And they'll be playing whoever finishes 5th in the.
Yeah, whoever finishes 5th in South America. That's how they. That's an interesting. It's a weird ranking system. But yeah, so World Cup. Keep an eye out. But still, there's certainly other games that happened in the A-League. One of the more interesting ones, I think, was the Wanderers beating Adelaide United.
Which is good, the grand final rematch.
Yeah. Also interesting to note, Adelaide United hasn't won a game yet, but it's only week 2. Newcastle Jets, they drew with the Newcastle Jets. But yeah, they still haven't, right out won a game.
It's also, I found out by watching the Central Coast Sydney game, it's been now 32 games since the Central Coast has had a clean sheet.
Oh, jeez.
So every game last year, Central Coast had a goal kicked against them.
Oh, jeez.
That's not a good record.
No, that is not a good record.
I think if I was Central Coast, just try to get a 0 or draw. That should be the goal now.
Yeah.
Get a clean sheet in your name.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Don't. But then again, isn't Central Coast Mariners sort of like the cellar dweller team?
At the moment they are. Yeah. They won the championship only a few years ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they defeated the Wanderers.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise that. And I think that's where we'll leave it for the moment. And this is Who Can It Be Now by Men at Work, and you're listening to The Sports Desk on SYN 90.7. That was Who Could It Be Now by Men at Work, and you're listening to The Sports Desk on SYN 90.7. And we're jumping right back into it, right back into the AFL Draft Trade Week.
And it's been big. The biggest one came out of nowhere on Wednesday with Mitchell.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell going, see yas.
Pretty much. What I heard, it backfired in Clarko's face. What I heard was that he asked Mitchell, I think it was the day of the Brownlow, would you consider moving clubs? Gave him 2 days, and spoke to Jordan Lewis, and they both agreed to.
No. Okay. So the thing, I don't think it backfired in Clarko's face. I think it was like one of those ones where maybe a little, because I don't think Clarko would have thought that they would both be moving at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he was hoping one goes and that one stays, and now they both pretty much.
But he's probably prepared himself for this eventuality. But yeah, the thing about all this is that with Clarko and the whole Lewis Mitchell thing is that there'd been talks about the whole Mitchell for like a year now. This wasn't a new development. This was a year ago that he talked to him, apparently.
The only issue is this, that he signed him in June. Signed him for another year.
Yeah, but see, the issue is that if you don't sign someone like Mitchell in June for an extended contract, people get very worried. Fans get very worried. And so you can easily go, yeah, we'll swap him. Like, you basically go, okay, we'll extend your contract in case you don't get to WA, and maybe you can come back next year and try again. Or maybe it's like, maybe the time isn't right now, so you can still play for us.
I just think there's an issue with Hawthorn because the two players that are leaving the club are best and fairest. Mitchell finished first, Lewis finished second. And another issue that I've said that the top three for Hawthorn are all over 30. I think you got Birchall, who finished fourth, who's 28 years old. And the youngest person in your best and fairest was actually Gunston.
Yeah.
Who's 25 years old.
See, the issue is that you're right. We do have an aging list, and that's not a good thing.
And just especially in your back line, there's no youth coming in.
Yeah.
That's also an issue with Geelong as well, with no youth.
Yeah.
So I think Clarko has a plan, but at the moment, Hawthorn, especially the 2017 season, for non-Hawthorn fans, not looking too bright.
Yeah. But yeah, so the issue is that with Cyril, with all this stuff going on, the aging list, I don't worry about. I think it's good that we're starting to trade out these older players rather than they all retire at once and we go. Because Hodge has like a year or so left in him.
Well, I heard rumours that Hodge was actually going to retire this year. Well, didn't turn out to be true, but
yeah. So I think he and Mitchell both signed extensions for like a year, I think. And Mitchell, while he left, I think they're both kind of gunning for like another premiership at least. Because you've also got Rioli, who's getting on in age. Still playing, don't get me wrong, these players are still playing fantastically, but Rioli is 27. He's got a few years left in him, but how many more? It all adds up, I reckon.
Yeah, and Hawthorn, you look at a team like Hawthorn who's been dominant for so long, and so we expect them to drop off. And I do see Hawthorn dropping off. Not, I won't say to extend to Brisbane, but I think in 2018 they'll miss the finals.
In 2018?
I still think they have the talent to make it in 2017, but 2018 I think they'll miss the finals.
So I don't think we'll miss the finals in 2018 because that's too close. I reckon we won't make the top four. I think we'll probably get into the finals, but scraping in. But like I said, 2 years is too early to tell. Who knows what's going to happen?
Another club that has a bit of an issue, not an issue, it's been going on for years though, is that Collingwood has pretty much got rid of their 2010 premiership team.
Yeah, so that was like all the team that they had. Basically, that was all of their decent players.
The people who were left who played in the 2010 grand final, Scott Pendlebury, Sidebottom, Blair, Reid and Goldsack.
Yeah.
After the Cloaks should depart this week. And just yesterday, Nathan Brown head off to St Kilda.
Yeah. So, the thing is that, none of them still want to play. None of them... Buckley is not helping them out with...
No. And that Collingwood team who won the premiership in 2010, they were destined for greatness. Yeah. They had the youngest premiership list since 1978. and they could have went on and won. I wouldn't say 3 in a row, but 2 out of 3. They should have won. I think they should have won in 2012 with the list they had.
Oh yeah.
And which ended up being Sydney who won, but Collingwood should have won another premiership. But then there is more teams in AFL that you say should have won the premiership or should have won more premierships than there's teams. I think Hawthorn are set with their 3.
Yeah.
I do say Freo should have won 2013 to 2015.
Oh really? You reckon they should have?
Oh, I just think
I don't reckon they should have.
I think they're up there with Sydney and Hawthorn during that 3-year period.
So the issue is that like this sort of current past few years, there've been quite a few teams that have been capable to win a premiership, but the issue is that they all play different styles, and because they all play different styles, it's whoever style is more suited. But the thing that I think made Hawthorn more successful than the others is that Hawthorn's playing style changed.
Hawthorn's playing style worked in finals better than most teams.
Yeah.
Because especially in finals when it's hot contested ball, Hawthorn best kicking rate out of any team in the AFL. But talking about teams that should win, it's like saying GWS should at least win 2 premierships by 2022. With the list they have and how good they are, they should at least win 2 premierships.
I still think that's too big of a claim. Like, there's still so many competitive teams. Like, I think you're writing off a lot of other teams by saying they should win 2. They should win a premiership by 2022, don't get me wrong, but 2 is a bit much.
I also think the Doggies...
The Doggies have one of the youngest lists in the competition, so they might be able to win another comp.
See, I think the Doggies need... So, I think GWS should. I think the Doggies need to win another premiership. Or at least need to make another grand final.
I think GWS will at least make a couple of grand finals, but I don't think they'll win more than one. The Doggies, I reckon, will win maybe another one, but at least make another 2 or so if they keep up this rate.
Yeah. Back to the trade week. There's been... You go on social media and you see a lot of rumours. And the way I see it, if you see a rumour and then a few hours later or even a day later, it's not clarified by a newspaper or an actual reporter, don't believe it. The 2 biggest ones was... Savani head over to Perth to talk to Fife, even though he's trying to get a whole bunch of players into Carlton, plus the Bryce Gibbs situation. Then you also have Todd Goldstein taking a fitness test in Perth. Both haven't... I know the Goldstein one's been proven false.
Yeah.
And the Fife one you've heard nothing on.
Yeah.
But I do believe with Fife, as he is a free agent, and from a player who said at the end of 2015 that he would die for the club, to 2016 saying it'll be reminiscent of him not to look at his options.
Yeah.
He knows now whether he'll be a Fremantle in 2018 or not.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be.
I don't think he is. I don't know, he just doesn't look like the loyal player. We will continue talking about the trade week here on the Sport Desk.
In just a sec.
Bit of technical difficulties at the moment.
That was What About Me by Shannon O, and you're listening to the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7. We're talking more trade, more draft, and the draft combine happened.
Yes, it did. The potential number 1 draft pick, and everyone's there. Back to the trades, though. I do think, especially with Adelaide and Geelong, are 2 teams at the moment, I have a bit of an issue with. Mostly because they're trying to get 2, Bryce Gibbs and Brett Deledio, respectively, both contracted players, but yet they're playing hardball. They're the teams being stuffed. They don't want to give up anyone for these contracted players. If I was Carlton, I'd just let Bryce Gibbs stay. He signed a 3-year contract last year, 5-year contract last year, and then he wants to go. I would keep Bryce Gibbs. I know...
How long is he contracted to? It's at least a couple of years, isn't it?
I think 2019. Well, he's got 3 more years on his contract.
Yeah, geez. See, this is the thing that bothers me. It's the fact that there's a lot of players now that are let's go play somewhere else, but they're still contracted.
There's one player who's done the right way. Marcus Adams from Bulldogs.
Yeah.
He said that he had spoken to the club since midway through the year that the possibility of going home. He is contracted, and he goes, if you can't find a home, that's okay. I will stay.
Yeah.
Like, he has some personal issues they haven't discussed of why he wants to go home, but he understands if he can't go home, he won't go home.
Yeah.
And I think that's the correct way to handle it. You don't like Bryce Gibbs. You saw him have a photo with Taylor Walker. Next thing you know, he requested the trade to Adelaide. Deledio, I don't think. Deledio out of nowhere just requested the trade to Geelong.
Yeah, I don't know why Deledio wanted to go.
Yeah, and another team that's playing hardball is Gold Coast with O'Meara.
Yeah.
But I think that's more. I think Gold Coast are filthy. They are not happy with O'Meara.
I think the thing is that, like, considering O'Meara wants to leave and all that's happened, I think they're like, we want to get rid of him, but we want to get the best deal we can off him.
Yeah.
I
know Liam
although
Shields,
Hawthorn now has pick 10 now. And I think that's important to keep in mind because they can use that, and I think they've got a few other picks that they can use in case, just in case. But I'm pretty sure Gold Coast wants a player.
They do, and I know they're looking at the moment. The name that's coming up is Liam Shield.
Yeah.
I don't think it will go. I know Sicily was an option for weeks. Bruce was the option.
Yeah.
Because I know, and the thing with Hawthorn, they can play hardball with Gold Coast because if they don't get him, O'Meara will go to the draft. And he'll get picked up by Hawthorn.
O'Meara they'll just go, all right, and use their pick 10 to go grab O'Meara.
Yeah, pretty much. Or he'll probably go pre-season draft.
Oh, yeah.
Unless Essendon grab him up. If Essendon offers Gold Coast pick 1, then I think no matter what, O'Meara will be at Essendon.
Yeah,
And that hasn't happened in ages, though. It's been a while since I think one of the best examples was in the 90s when Lockett wanted to stay in Melbourne, but Sydney offered St Kilda the best deal.
Yeah.
Same. I watched on the couch actually, and Paul Roos was the exact same.
Yeah.
Didn't want to leave Melbourne, but ended up at Sydney because they offered him the best deal.
Yeah.
So, footy, I just think everyone's too nice these days in footy.
Yeah. Although apparently the Giants are talking to the Bombers over the pick.
I know. The Giants want pick 1.
Yeah.
And they're trying the hardest to get pick 1 because they want. I can't remember his name. But he's a running defender, a bit like Heath Shaw, and they want to get the replacement for Heath Shaw.
They want to get apparently Andy McGrath.
Yes, who's a running defender.
Yeah, he's the Vic Metro co-captain.
But I think the Giants are winning the trade period, even though they haven't got a player, and they've given. Like, if the Giants can give away a number 1 draft pick like it's nothing, that shows how good their list is.
Yeah. I think we just got to keep a lot of them in sight, to be honest.
Another rumour that's going around is Tom Rockcliffe. He's been rumoured. Apparently he's been rumoured for Adelaide, but now apparently Melbourne's the front runner.
Yeah, I heard that as well, but apparently that's a bit dodgy.
The former captain, and I would love to be inside Brisbane because he was the captain last year, and then they seem to be getting rid of him like he's, a 4th-year player who's played a game.
Yeah. No one's really sure about what it is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, footy clubs you'd love to just spend a year inside a footy club and just see how it all goes down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a friend of mine mentioned to me that they wanted a mid-year draft period.
Yeah.
Just so that way they could have more of this drama. Because there's so much going down. Because they're all like, who have we got? Who have we not got? But yeah, Hawthorn. I still think the results of the trade and the draft are still yet to come. I reckon there's a lot of stuff that might happen.
There's so much, yeah.
Yeah.
And I could say that I don't think Hawthorn will do good next year, and they can come out and win the premiership, which would be delighted of everyone. Cause I think Hawthorn's been starved of premiership success for years. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been like a year.
I'm pretty sure the Hawthorn supporters are having withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, no.
I'm not tasting success. I don't know what it's like. They're, getting help, seeing a counsellor, trying to wrap their head around what it's like not to win a premiership.
Oh, look, as a Freo supporter, I'm sure you are well aware of what it's like not to win a premiership.
Oh, I'm a master in the not winning a premiership. I can do it. I can not win a premiership with my eyes shut. I am that good at it now.
Yeah, but not as good as like Saints supporters and whatnot.
Oh.
Or those who haven't won one since like before the AFL. But still.
It's like Richmond. I think Richmond's the worst. Haven't made the longest grand final drought. 1982
Yeah,
was their last
but
grand final.
the last one they won was
1980.
yeah. So I think it's the Saints that still have the draw.
Melbourne's the longest, now 52.
Oh yeah.
St Kilda's 50, and then you got Richmond and Fremantle.
Yeah, jeez.
But Richmond's the only club to not make an AFL grand final. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Melbourne did.
2000. They played Essendon. They got smashed, but they played Essendon.
Oh, okay, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just interesting.
But I think in Melbourne, talking about draft, if they can get Lewis and Rockcliffe with their midfield of Viney and Jones,
yeah,
who I think Jones is a highly underrated player, plus the fact that Hogan re-signed and Jack Watts are in the best form of his life.
that and a bit of Melbourne is on the up. Melbourne's a bit on the up, not like they were in the few.
Oh, they. I think finals for them, not next year, but maybe 2018, 2019. Finals should be a must for them. They have the list. Could Melbourne go all the way? Maybe. You know, it's hard to say. Who could it? If I said to you in end of 2014, at the end of 2016, Bulldogs win the premiership, you'll think I'm crazy. I don't know about you, but I had Doggies last in 2015.
Yeah, I would not have expected.
I remember going to my manager, and she laughed at me because my manager where I worked was a Bulldog supporter, and I even said to her, I go, the Doggies will finish last in 2015. She goes, no, they won't. She goes, we'll make finals. I'm like, you're crazy.
No, I don't know what the Doggies have made finals consistently for a few years. They've just always been like first round knockouts. See that's the thing that I think a lot of people keep forgetting is that the Doggies, North Melbourne and whatnot, they do make finals. It's not a shock for them to make finals. It's a shock for them to get past the first round.
Well, I think Geelong makes finals. They've missed 2 final series in the last 11 years.
Yeah.
See, Geelong's also one of those. Geelong, Sydney, the 2 teams that constantly make finals.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm just saying that it's one of those ones where over the past few years, I was looking at it, I was like, oh, I didn't realise that all these teams had made the finals. Because they don't tough. Make top 4. Until this year, the top 4 has been so heavily weighted to win, except the bye helps so much.
Well, this decade, the top 4 has pretty much been, not every year, but the top 4 has pretty much been Geelong, Sydney, Hawthorn, Fremantle.
Or West Coast.
They only made top 4. 2011 and 2015.
Yeah, so it's like one of the teams in the West, really.
And GWS made top 4 for the first time. Well, their first ever final series made top 4 first time ever. And yeah, I think apart from that, I think West Coast, Collingwood. I know Doggies made in 2010.
Yeah.
St Kilda, Hawthorn, Fremantle, Sydney, Geelong. Pretty much been our top 4 the entire decade.
Yeah. Well, not the entire decade, considering for Hawthorn it's been like the past 8 years. Almost the entire decade, though. You're right. But I think it's important to note that, but the Doggies have. But the other thing is that like but the bye helped them so much.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, do you think they'll keep the bye? And I'm like, no, because
apparently they will, but I don't want them to. I think it's a bad idea.
Why? I like the idea.
You liked it? I think it just kills the
momentum.
momentum.
It balances out.
But I don't think it's meant to. I think the finals, the top 4 is meant to have the advantage for being top 4.
Yeah, and they do. They get the extra break.
But playing one game in 3 weeks is not an advantage. That's a disadvantage.
But see, the issue is that there's not enough evidence that the bye negatively affects the winning team of the first round.
Oh yeah, I do.
Because GWS only just lost to the Doggies. Like, sure, Sydney came out and kicked. Like,
oh, see, I also say that I've said that numerous times actually ever since the finals. If it goes to the end of if 3 years time and the 2 teams that get the other week off lose, then there'll be an issue.
Yeah, like they still need to do it. I think calling it this early is too early.
Oh yeah.
In a couple of years, don't have a problem with calling it as just go, oh, this was a bad idea.
I even said to a mate as soon as the Doggies defeated Hawthorn that Geelong looked weaker. The fact that Hawthorn went out in straight sets.
Yeah.
Because Hawthorn only lost because Isaac Smith missed the goal.
Yeah.
So. And I think that loss made Geelong look much weaker. And I always thought Geelong was the weakest top 4 side.
Yeah. Oh, Hawthorn's strength is a bit waning a little.
Towards the end of the year, Hawthorn showed how weak they were.
Yeah, I think we lost a bit of our momentum, and that was we suffered.
I think Geelong was probably by far one of the weakest top 4 sides.
Yeah.
And I think Adelaide was unlucky to make the top 4, and GWS was also kind of unlucky and lucky to make top 4.
Yeah.
But I also think, honestly, thinking the Doggies didn't have their injuries, they would have made top 4.
Oh, yeah.
So I do think that Geelong was the weakest top 4 side. And after, we'll go to a song now, and after this, we'll head off to the NBL.
Yeah, and this is Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House. But don't worry, the AFL trade period is still going on. You're listening to Sports Desk on Sin 90.7. That was Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House, and you're listening to the Sports Desk on Sin 90.7. And we are going to jump into the NBL. Basketball has kicked off in Australia.
Before we wrap up, we'll just quickly wrap up with the NBL and also the NRL. In the NBL, it's been a good start to the season, actually. With Sydney, Brisbane and Perth all with a 2-1 start after 3 games. One of the only teams to play 4 games at the moment has been Melbourne United, the last year minor premiers.
Oh, yeah.
They went from a 2-0 start to now 2-2 after a 95-83 win over the Illawarra Hawks. And Sydney got over Cairns on the weekend, I actually watched the game. It was quite a good game.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those games where the team got away in the last 5 minutes. But then if you want to switch codes to the NRL, we had the international test between Australia and New Zealand in Perth, which was a 26-6 win by the Aussies.
Yeah.
To make it 2-0 in their test series against New Zealand, heading into the 4 Nations later this month.
Oh, 4 Nations. Jeez, this is going to be intense.
Usually Australia and New Zealand. Aussies usually have the upper hand in NRL, and where New Zealand usually has the upper hand in rugby union.
Yeah, true. But New Zealand's been playing pretty well in like everything I've seen them play.
Australia just got over them in the second half. It was a 2-point deficit at half time, and then Australia got over.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was good that the game was in Perth. I remember saying, I said last week actually, that Perth's always pretty much been the next destination in rugby.
Yeah, there's no real teams over in the West.
I know they did have the Perth Reds, or the Redbacks or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Back in the 90s when NRL decided to have a team everywhere. It was like Oprah, you have a team, everyone has a team. And like Adelaide had the Adelaide Rams, you had the
WA Reds.
WA Reds there.
Or the West Coast Pirates. I think they might have also been a thing.
Yes.
The West Coast Pirates were founded in they were founded in 2012. I don't believe they are.
They would be the team. It would be like it was them and the Brisbane Bombers, the teams they wanted to join the NRL. Because they did plan to do an expansion. The AFL did an expansion with Gold Coast and GWS, but they signed a deal which could only hold 16 teams. Yeah, which is the current 16 they have.
Because the issue is that the Reds are not exactly positive. Like apparently 50% of the marketplace associated the Western Reds name with failure. Jeez.
So I know WA has the rugby union team, the Western Force. So they've been wanting an NRL team. Be like how kind of the same with Tasmania and an AFL team.
Yeah. Or
Canberra and an ALeague team. Those states that've been wanting a team should have a team but don't have a team.
Yeah.
That's WA and the NRL.
Yeah.
But that's all the time we have for here at the Sports Desk.
So we still got like 10 minutes.
We do?
Yeah, we still have a bit to go.
We still have a bit to go. Okay, that's not all we have here at the Sports Desk.
No, that is not all the time we have.
I apologise.
Yeah, we still have quite a bit. The Matador Cup, I think, is wrapped up. Has it? No, it's still going. With New South Wales beat Victoria by 6 wickets.
And that's never good. I hate.
Never good.
You never want New South Wales to beat Victoria.
No. So I think that Pakistan is currently playing the West Indies in a test series. We play Pakistan later in the summer.
Yes, we play after
we play South Africa in test series when we play Pakistan, starting at the Boxing Day test, I believe.
No,
it's the one at the Gabba?
It starts at the Gabba, then we go Boxing Day, then we go New Year's.
Yeah. So
and then we play Sri Lanka in 2020s later on, and we also play New Zealand in 1 days.
In the first innings, Pakistan declared 3 for 579.
Oh, nice declaring there.
Then the West Indies scored 557. Pakistan did not make them follow on, which is always a good thing to see, and scored 123 all out. And the West Indies at stumps for day 2. Day 4, 2 for 95. So keep an eye on that game. It wraps up today. I think it'll start in about a couple of hours, considering they're playing over in the UAE.
Yes, because they don't play in Pakistan.
No, they're not. They're not allowed to play in Pakistan anymore. But yeah, so I think it's one of those ones where I think it'll be good to watch us play the Pakistanis, because Pakistan's always has been a solid test team.
They have. Also, in the world of sports, we go to America now, where the Dallas at the moment in the fourth quarter leading Green Bay 20-9, and the Atlanta Falcons leading the Seahawks at the beginning of the third, 24-17.
Yeah.
In round 6 of the NFL season.
Let's just keeping on the whole USA front. Let's go to the baseball. Do you follow baseball?
Now and then.
I do. Even though a lot of people tell me it's boring, I still like it. The Cleveland Indians defeated the Toronto Blue Jays 2-0 in Game 1 on Saturday. Then they defeated the Blue Jays again 2-1 on Game 2. So they lead the series 2-0. Also, but the interesting thing to note is that one was when Game 1 of the Dodgers-Cubs game was held. The Cubs beat the Dodgers 8-8. With a grand slam being hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. It was great to watch. It was really crazy. But yeah, and the Dodgers play the Cubs in Game 2, and the Cubs might win a World Series, and this is a weird thing to state, seeing as the last time they won the World Series was
it 1909?
I believe it might have been 1905.
It's been over 100 years since the Cubs won. So who's leading the series, sorry?
In that series currently it's currently the Cubs, but they've only played one game out of 7. The last 1907 was the last time they won a World Cup.
I know.
The last time they won the World Series was 1908.
Oh, it's close. A year off. I know that Cleveland have an issue with winning. Apart from last year with the Cavaliers taking out the NBA. You got the Cleveland Browns who aren't doing too good.
No, I believe that the Cleveland Cavs winning the championship was the first time they'd won a national championship since the 60s.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I kind of want Chicago to win, so that way it's been a year of like premiership droughts. Droughts are over.
Oh, I think it has been. The only sport that the drought wasn't over was over in Ireland with their football.
Oh yeah.
With Mayo losing to Dublin, who went back to back. And Mayo didn't win a All-Ireland since 1951.
Oh, well, you know. But yeah, let's say you had the Doggies, you had the Cavs, you had
the Sharks,
Leicester City winning the Premier League, the Sharks, who won the Super Bowl?
The Broncos, but they won in early 2000s.
Yeah, no, that's not so much of a drought, but then again, with the NFL, it's always changing. But yeah, there's been a few droughts that have been broken, and I think that's always good to see.
Oh, you never want to see more teams win more than 1 or 2.
Fiji got its first medal in the Olympics.
Yes.
For rugby sevens, and I think that is all we have time for. On that positive note, this has been the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7. You have been listening with Alex and Liam. You can tune in to the Sports Desk on 9 a.m. on Friday with Justin, Ben, and Lucy. You can also tune in next week to the same show. Tune in. Give us a listen.